Hey, this is Random Ramblings with Candace, Jeremy, and Curtis, the stepchild of the Ratchet Ramblings podcast, brought to you by CSPN Media. We want to thank you for your support for this paywall support. And if you want to support us in additional ways at no additional cost, go to cspn.us, click on the Keep Our Podcast free link. We hope that you guys enjoy this additional shit talking session. So let's get to it. First up in the Random Ramblings pot, I I subscribe to the HBCU Confessions account on Twitter because that should be funny. And I had a couple of them that stood out to me, but I trimmed it down to this one. So it said, "My sugar daddy gives me 2 to 5,000 when I want, but gives me extra when we have sex. But now I'm pregnant and he keeps saying it's not his and now wants nothing to do with me. What do I do?" And this is a person, we can assume a woman from FAMU.
Right.
And I thought that this was funny because I was like, sis, you got a nigga allegedly giving you $2 to $5,000 whenever you want for whatever you want. And then you get a bonus if you give him some kitty cat. And you have to ask the internet what to do. You have more than enough money to either take care of the baby or take care of the baby. So what you doing, sis? But the reason why I put, because I'm mad, I wanted to throw it around to my friends and my co-hosts. So if you had a sugar daddy or a sugar mama, because y'all are straight or whatever, what would you do if they were giving you 2 to 5,000 whenever you wanted, and an additional bonus if you gave them some sex?
Getting some birth control.
Inventing male birth control.
First of all, more than likely, this sugar daddy is married, and been married, and ain't leaving his wife,
and or could be have a position in the church. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that man ain't doing. Listen, get rid of that goddamn baby girl. I ain't even trying to be funny. It's you really don't even want all the headaches that's gonna come with that. Because let's say you keep the baby and you like, I'm gonna tell your wife if you don't do such and such and so and so, you still gonna end up depriving your child of a parent in the long run. So it's like, do you really want to do that? Like, I'm not being funny. Don't mess up your money train, girl.
A good lucrative money train at that. The way this reads to me is that she, I should say, is not being responsible with the money.
Yeah, that's how it comes across to me.
Either that or you just a complete dumbass.
Or it could be both.
Both. I think it's both.
It's probably both.
Yeah.
Because I don't see nothing about wanting to actually keep the baby. It's just he says it's not his. So now what do I want to do? Or what do I do?
It's kind of like I think my problem with straight people is that they don't take their sexual health nearly as serious as they should, considering just how high their HIV and STD, STI rates are. So there is absolutely no reason for you, one, to be having unprotected sex with your sugar daddy and other men, and two, if you are going to have unprotected sex, because let's say that y'all have the understanding and you know your status and your results, why are you not on birth control? It is no secret that men and their sperm are viable and living well into their senior citizen years. Old niggas make babies all the time.
We looking at you, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
You're not looking back, but sorry, I couldn't.
I'm waiting on it.
We see you. You don't see us. But your sperm see the eggs with your never mind.
Your fertile ass.
Fertile ass. To put a little bit on that hairline. Anyways.
Fertile turtle.
Yeah, it just 22 is such a young, dumb age, but sometimes at some point you have to move in your own best interest, and being pregnant by who knows is when you getting money is really not something you should want to deal with at 22.
Man, you getting good money. It's people
Thousands.
like, girl, it's people that work 40 hours a week or more that don't pull in that much.
Yeah.
A month. And you get it whenever you want it. Like, girl. But anyway, okay, so Jeremy, what would you do? Not in this situation, but if you had a cougar that was giving you $2 to $5 grand whenever you wanted it, and a little extra when you was tapping on her cervix.
Being the type of nigga I am, I would be investing it in trying to invent male birth control and keep my gravy train running. Cause listen, let me tell you something. Listen. At my big age of now, I ain't trying to fuck up a check, a steady stream of income. So I would be doing my best to make sure that I can keep milking from the cow, if you know what I mean. So that's what I would be doing.
Yeah. You stupid girl.
Yeah.
I'm pro-choice, girl. Go on and handle your business, baby.
Why did I imagine Candace said that shit like Monique did in Precious? You a dummy.
You a dummy.
You a dummy, bitch. You will never be shit, bitch.
You'll never be shit, bitch.
Okay,
let's make me throw a TV downstairs on you, girl. Go get that. Go handle that. That's how ain't shit niggas tell women to have abortions. Go handle that. Get yourself together, baby, and get back with that money train and heal up for them 6 weeks, because he don't even want the pussy all the time. So you can still get to the money while you heal up for them 6 weeks.
Listen. Well, let's move right along. Speaking of handling business, T.O. So there's a whole thing going on with T.O. and his Hall of Fame induction.
Yes.
And I believe one of you said that he's supposed to be having his own celebration. So I'm gonna let y'all take it away.
Yes. This was
T.O. said fuck you crackers.
Pretty damn, and some of you niggers, because he
with the hard ER.
Yeah, because
let me just say, T.O. gets a hard rap as being, problematic, a problem to his team, blah blah blah, ABCDEFG. But T.O. was probably one of the few black athletes when he was playing that just refused to accept shit from teams, coaches, and owners, and was gonna be treated any old kind of way and how they said they was gonna do him. I remember when T.O., because remember T.O. he was one of the first athletes with his own reality show and shit like that. And T.O. just wasn't with the shit. You just was not gonna treat him any kind of way. You was not gonna talk to him any kind of way. You was not gonna pay him any old kind of thing. And as you could see, a lack of these black athletes standing up for themselves. Now they being told how they got to stand for the national anthem and this, that, and the third, and what they better do. And if they don't do it, and then they don't do something, they being treated like Kaepernick. And so I think a lot of black athletes should have been taking a page out of T.O. book, and he's been snubbed repeatedly for the Hall of Fame. He finally got in, and then he was like, "Suck my dick."
Yes. I brought it wanted to add it to the round of ramblings because like Candace just said, like he has been snubbed repeatedly by the Hall of Fame voters, which I mean for the most part was like old white men, which it seemed like every sports Hall of Fame except for the NBA, just the board of directors or whatever the fuck, they all like old white men. So it's like maybe I need to take a page from the NBA and diversify that and tighten that up a little bit. But anyway, so they finally stopped being stupid and inducted him and the ceremony is coming soon. I want to say it's next week. I think I have to go and see, but it's soon. So instead of going to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, T.O. is gonna hold his own party at his house with people that appreciate him during the ceremony. And I just wanted to say that's my type of carrying on, because them people have consistently snubbed him of his rightful place. Like, he's like top 3 receivers all time, numbers wise, and just if you watch the game. And they repeatedly, I mean, the only 2 that's better than him is Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. So, exactly. And they repeatedly snubbed him because, his attitude, and he's not a team player, blah, blah, blah. You motherfuckers have inducted women beaters, rapists, racists, all of homophobes, all of the above into the Hall of Fame, but you want to keep T.O. out because of character. And then when he say, fuck y'all, suck my dick from the back, I'm gonna acknowledge my induction, but on my own time, and y'all still mad. Fuck the Hall of Fame. I stand with T.O. Fuck y'all niggas. Because that's my type of carrying on.
Yeah. Only thing I want to say is Candace made a very good point about the black NFL players not having stood up enough for themselves. So now they to the point, because the NFL treats them like they pick cotton, to be quite honest. Because you don't see, like, the NBA don't do that shit, because they will put some shirts on in protest in a fucking minute in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play that shit. But in the NFL, they literally treat them like they pick cotton and they can't do nothing. And now so anyway, yeah, I thought that was a salient point. So let's move along. I feel like the next thing I have on the list is probably going to be a little strong. So let's move over to Jocelyn. Speaking of strong, strong and wrong.
Jay Leno chin asshole. So Jocelyn had an outburst this week because Faith and Stevie J snuck off and got married this week in Vegas or something. That's weird in and of itself, but we'll save that maybe for when we discuss the last part of the reunion. If you listen to the show, we'll discuss it then. But so Jocelyn had this outburst, and she posted some screenshots like from weeks ago when Stevie was DMing her, claiming to love her and want her back, and this, that, and the third. And then she talking about, and where my child support. And what made it funny to me was not that she was exposing Stevie, because he is a predator and I don't give a fuck about him, but it's that all these years later, all the taunting she did of Mimi and Hey Maid and you just another baby mama and did that and the third. You are just another baby mama to Stevie J, Jocelyn. Mm. And you are on social media having bitch fits because he went and married Faith Evans, and you talking about child support, but when he was with you, he was never taking care of his kids. He had pending child support case then for that $1 million+ he owed in child support. You were not an advocate for child support when it came to his other children being taken care of. Now you talking about pay me my child support, ho. No, suffer, bitch, just like the other baby mamas. Hey, now you a maid. You a bitter baby mama and you a maid. You don't get the love and hip hop checks no more. And you still tied up in that egregious ass contract you signed when you was with Stevie. So, and that's gotta burn. That's what gotta eat at your soul, is the fact that any money you make, Stevie still getting a piece of it. Because you never were able to get out that contract like you had people believe you were.
Burn like an STI. Oof. Hey Maid, number 2.
In your bitter baby mama uniform.
Molly Maid. Puerto Rican. No, that's not good.
Meanwhile, Mimi is living her best life.
She living her best life. Her best strap life.
Eating burritos on TV, staying out of bullshit, and still getting a check. And you on Instagram posting screenshots
of text messages. with all kinds of rumors going back and forth about whether or not you're gonna have a show in Miami.
Mm. Which, by the way, that would be the fuck terrible because Jocelyn is not interested on her own.
Nope.
Jocelyn is not getting no show. Jocelyn been supposed to get a show since her pregnancy special. Nobody wants to see Jocelyn Hernandez on TV without Stevie J and without the rest of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Because if that was the case, they would have threw her ass in the mix for Love and Hip Hop Miami. Nobody cares about Jocelyn.
Yeah, she can't helm a show on her own.
Cause she ain't interested unless she fight with somebody. And even then.
Even then. Leave us alone, Jocelyn.
Pretty much.
Thank you so much. Please go take care of that baby.
Belly. What is it? Belly? Not Belly. Bonnie Bella.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bonnie Bella. Whatever.
Girl. Good luck. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up the random ramblings with I guess with what's going to start as a PSA from Jeremy. So I'm gonna let Big Knees take it away.
Thank you so much, Fran. I'ma just start it off because I know that my friends Candace and Curtis have a lot of feelings about this. And we're all, you know,
do we?
Well, you know, well done, friend. You're doing amazing. And we've, you know, unlike some people, you know, we actually are real life friends and actually talk about things. So we are pretty much in consensus about this before I lob it to them. But just a PSA, don't stop performing outrage. There are plenty of things and valid things to either critique or have outrage about, but don't rush to have a hot take because it really doesn't serve a purpose. And more importantly, don't rush to have hot takes and expect for people to perform outrage for you to satisfy you when it really doesn't help the issue that you claim to care about. And with that said, I will lob it off to my friends to explain what we're talking about. So, Curtis, Candace, take it away.
Y'all are performative as fuck.
Why Candace came in like her mama?
Because
you came in with the Debo.
Y'all all want to be visible on social media with y'all hot takes. So y'all perform. But I'm gonna tell you what all that performing does, especially for women, when it comes to other women, it shows the chink in y'all womanist armor. Some of y'all have been looking real funny in the light as details of this latest Charlemagne and these rape allegations and all this paperwork has come to the forefront. Y'all have been performing and being upset and angry that Crystals from the Read has not come out and publicly denounced Charlemagne and dragged him and cussed him out. And why are we holding women more responsible for calling out these rapists and these abusers more than we are our own legal system? A nigga like Charlemagne should be in somebody's fucking jail. But y'all sitting up here talking about when the powers that be writing your checks, what checks is Charlemagne writing for the Read? I don't even listen. Let me tell you this. I don't even listen to that show, not even on a semi-regular basis. But y'all gonna stop playing with them folks like they are not self-made and successful with what they have managed to do with themselves when it comes to social media and podcasting and where they are now. Y'all gonna stop playing with them. Cause y'all sound the fuck stupid. Charlemagne writing who checks for the Read? They stand to gain absolutely nothing by going to bat for Charlemagne. Charlemagne don't write them they checks. They was eating before he came into their picture.
Correct.
He sought them out to work with them and extended them opportunities. They didn't go beating down his fucking door.
And specifically, Crystal, because I could be wrong, but I don't think that Fury and Charlemagne really have ever had that much of a relationship, but I could be wrong about that.
I mean, I think they had because they're all on the same network. They're all on Loudspeaker's network for his because he does that podcast with the white man.
Yeah.
So and of course they know each other, and Crystal has been.
Yeah. I think
on that
he's. I
show.
think because I know they. You not to cut you off, but I think he's more closer. Well, was emphasis on that was closer to Crystal than he was to Fury.
I mean, as far as visible work, yeah, but as far as
yeah.
relationship, because even Fury has talked about dragging Charlemagne in private when he fucks up.
And even then, why aren't y'all going to whoever owns Loudspeaker and demanding that they take a stand against this shit going on with Charlemagne?
Why y'all not going to? I'm sorry, cut you. Why y'all not going to DJ Envy and whoever that woman is on that show? Why y'all not going to them and asking them?
Don't even go to that woman. Go to these men. Y'all are not requiring these men to do any work when it comes to calling to the carpet their fellow brethren who are doing sick shit like what Charlemagne is on multiple podcasts and YouTube videos and such admitting to doing. So it's just kind of like, get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. Y'all are purposely singling out this one black woman and expecting her to put her brand, her coin in the middle of some bullshit that has absolutely nothing to do with her. Mm-hmm. What Charlemagne did 17 years ago has nothing to do with Crystals. And to be completely honest, you can tell that they have not had any type of a professional or personal relationship in a good while now. And I want to be honest and say, you could tell that the breaking point for Crystals and probably Fury as well was that Tomi Lahren shit. When he brought her on the Breakfast Club and then went on that rant on Twitter about how more black women should be like her. Like, I feel like that was the breaking point, because after that, you know, Crystals drug his ass publicly, privately, on the read and everything else. And then after that, you just really never saw them in close proximity to each other after that.
Yep.
So
and every time, and not to mention, she has a history of dragging him every time he fucks up, whether they were working together or not. She has never given him a pass.
So I feel like expecting her to be the Luke Cage of podcasting when it comes to his latest gaggle of bullshit is extremely unfair. Mm-hmm. For the women doing that, it to me, it makes your feminism and womanism look funny in a light, because you're not writing to Viacom, you're not writing to HBO, you're not calling out whoever owns the Loudspeaker network, you're not calling out whichever station he is doing the Breakfast Club with, you're not calling out the publishers who are publishing his books and all of that. You're really defaulting to a black woman who is finding some success in the podcast world and in the social media world, and expecting her to put herself in the middle of his transgressions. That is the most ridiculous shit I have ever heard.
Yeah. Y'all have more smoke. You got more smoke for Crystal for not saying what you want her to say than you do for Charlemagne. How does that work?
Absolutely. And he's admitted several times on record that he does things like drug women's drink and then have sex with them while they passed out. So again, I think your performing is making you look like a fool. It's not Crystal's job. It's not any other. To be honest, I'm going to be honest. I don't even care for Angela Yee. It's not even Angela Yee's job to get in the middle of Charlemagne's transgressions.
Correct.
We need to get on the powers that be that have the authority to strip him of his power and access for the kind of shit that he is on record admitting to, and all these new court documents that have come to light that completely contradict his recollection of the events in question.
Yep. And if you want a good breakdown of that, I suggest going and listening to The Black Guy Who Tips. Rod
Absolutely.
did a very good job of, he didn't even really drag too much. He just presented the information.
Yeah, he didn't even drag Charlemagne. He presented the information. He even played the clips where Charlemagne is admitting to drugging another ex of his, and her falling to sleep and him having sex and her waking up like, who else had sex with me while I was passed out? And her saying, well, I'm glad you was here so nobody else could like have sex with me. And so it's kind of like all of the details are, Rod presents them very well without bias and without very little judgment so that you can hear for yourself. But
yeah. I believe it's episode 17, 19. You could have said nothing.
Yeah, that's the exact episode,
Yeah.
because he also gets on Angela Rye as well. And this is the other thing. I truly feel like Crystal is damned if she do and damned if she doesn't. If she were to get up and just completely drag him every which way, which he would deserve if that was how she was going to do it, y'all would still be in y'all feelings and do that whole, well, you dragging him now, but you worked with him. He been a piece of shit. What about when he said this? What about when he did that? You worked with him then. Oh, this was the breaking point. Blah blah blah. Like there would be really no winning, no matter what she did. And for me, like I said, actions speak louder than words. I don't need her to perform outrage on social media so that she can look a certain way. I am more so a fan of the fact that she has, over the years, distanced herself from him far before this new information came to light. It didn't take her hearing about these new rape allegations and information and this victim's account of the night in question, and you know how everything contradicts what he said. The shit he did with Tommy Loren and the shit, all of that shit, she was like, okay, this is enough.
Yep.
Like, okay, you had problematic views, but nigga, this is going too far. Like, it didn't take something as extreme as rape. Just that his views were constantly problematic after interacting with him for years and having meaningful conversations and showing him why a lot of his ideas were problematic, and him continuing to be that person, and she pulled away from it. For me, that earns her a ton of my respect, because she didn't have to wait to find out he was a disgusting ass rapist and a liar. So it's just kind of like,
I agree. And I just want to,
y'all.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, you know, I didn't really notice it until this past week when I was like, okay, some of this black womanism on Twitter and on social media, I'm like, this is all a performance. Like, y'all are adopting it as a brand. To what end, I don't know, but you always are going to look funny in the light if you told yourself as a black womanist and you got more smoke for the people around an alleged rapist, especially the black women, than you do for the actual rapist or the people that are in power that could actually do something about him. Like, what is Crystal supposed to do? Crystal has no power over the Breakfast Club. She has no power over whatever other ventures Charlemagne has going on. They just happen to be in close proximity.
Yeah, and this is like probably my final thought, and then we'll wrap up and I'll leave it to y'all. For me, it feels it honestly feels like a missed opportunity, to be perfectly honest. Because I do think that there is a valid conversation to be had for some visible feminists, you know, womanists, whatever, that do constantly keep constantly problematic cishet black men in proximity to them, and kind of piggybacking off you, Curtis, like kind of like a brand. Like, I know these niggas and I know they problematic, but I'm going to check them, quote unquote, and I see the redemption that they could have, quote unquote, while toting myself as a womanist and a feminist, and then by doing that behind closed doors, you know, these niggas are abusers and, you know, all this, that, and the third. Like, we've seen examples of that. And I do think that's a valid conversation to be had. But
I didn't see where you were going with that at first. So, okay. Shout out to the Shade Vomit. Continue.
So I do think that's a valid conversation to be had, but I think it's misplaced at the wrong person, because Crystal has called him out both publicly and privately, and like Candace said, she has been distancing herself over the years. So again, I think it's a missed opportunity for a valid conversation that ultimately just boils down to, and me and Candace were talking about this a little pregame when we was waiting for Curtis to get here. Some of these folks just jealous. Like, that really kind of what it boils down to. Some of these people are just jealous and don't like that she has basically, you know, started from the bottom. Now she here, and they're taking this misplaced anger out on her, and it's performative, it's weird, it's ridiculous, and you know, y'all trash. So that's all I got to say.
So I'm gonna cap this with two final thoughts, and then we're gonna wrap this up. I definitely agree with that. Again, I just have to say, if you call yourself a black womanist and you are jealous of your fellow black women, or I should say black women in black films, you have some soul searching to do. That's number one. And number two, as far as Crystal is concerned, I'll never understand why y'all expect her to perform all of this stuff for free, as if she don't have a whole podcast where they routinely address issues that are going on. Like, they're not even big on social media anymore, her or Fury. And when there's something major going on that they want to address, they take the Carter's route, and they talk about it on the show, because that's what the show is for. So for all of the people getting mad that she didn't come out and say something, it's like, it's not even Thursday yet. The read hasn't even come out. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all look real funny in the light, but who doesn't look funny in the light is us.
Bloop.
So that will wrap this up. This has been Random Ramblings. Hopefully you guys will stay subscribed and, you know, continue to come back. This is probably, I think we all agree, probably going to be a monthly thing. So if you are subscribed and chunking a little change to the network, then you'll get to hear us a little bit extra. In addition to that, you guys remember to share this show and all of your favorite CSPN shows with your friends, with your family, neighbors, followers, you know, co-workers, if you are into that sort of thing. I don't suggest that, but you know, some of y'all actually like your co-workers. And with all that being said, join us next time for more random things. Same ratchet place, same ratchet channel.
Bye-bye.